Hi there, got a rematch for you today. So I will say right off the bat, I actually kind of skipped a bit of a step in this, so this is just going to be the last round between these two. They've had a few goes here. So, okay, the Obscuro has inside decoy pods and side shields that were added for some extra defense on it. I figured, honestly, the next step, upon testing these two to make sure that they were still, fair fight, it seemed like the Jester was extraordinarily weak against, well, compared to the Obscuro at that point. It was very one-sided on the missile side of things. So, gave him some Medusa pods, so now each one is basically able to nullify each other's missiles. And yeah, seemed to kind of balance things out a little bit. I don't know if there was a particular reason for not using inside parts on each one of these. I assume there was something to do with the whole AC D&D thing. I don't know what the rules of that are. If there are some rules and limitations that are supposed to be followed on that, I think that might make for some interesting additions to rules on community builds for this. Just a thought. Again, I don't really know where to find those rules, if they're actually posted anywhere, but anyway, let me know. Might be interesting. So, yeah, I haven't tested these two yet, but in theory they should be a very fair fight. So the Obscuro is going to be a bit better on the dodging front. The Jester is definitely more charge and tanky sort of a situation. So, it's just gonna do, it's gonna have a hard time without pods. Like I said, reasonably it should have them. It is a, midway, it's almost leaning on the heavier side, so it feels like it should have them. Just personal opinion. And yeah. Let's see. So far the Obscuro is winning it. Ooh, nice friggin' exchange there. So it looks like it's mostly just going to come down to a gun and sword fight, again, since they each basically just nullify each other's back parts right now, more or less. Just kind of comes down to dodging ability and past that point. Alright. So this is leaning pretty heavily towards the Obscuro, but yeah, we'll see what that ends up coming down to. I think that one slash definitely tilted the odds in this particular one. Actually, now that I think about it, that's... yeah, okay, I just figured out why they don't use inside parts. AC-1 ACs with some AC-3 guns, that's what it is, isn't it? But no, wait, they're using extensions, so... whatever, I'll stop trying to figure stuff out. Alright, so 1-2 the Obscuro so far. Or, I think. Was that what happened? Yes, that is what happened. Okay, so 1 to the Obscuro so far. Apparently we are getting the range again. That's not gonna work. Wait a minute, no. The last one was the airfield, it wasn't the range. I stand corrected against myself. Go figure, even I contradict myself. So yeah, on the defense side, these two are very evenly matched at the moment. The Obscuro's got a lighter setup, but in general with the side shields, it kind of puts it on comparable ground. Got a blade advantage, although the drain from that thing could potentially be a factor. That being said, the lighter frame generally just supports it better, as do the arms. It's a very even fight on this one. And the Jester's got a kind of mid-range firepower edge with the EOs. Missing its blades, they're both missing their blades. Alright, so that's still 1 to the Obscuro on that one. So I think it was just the extra defense that kind of tilted this. Also, that's not what I meant to do. Crap. Sorry. Excuse the sudden intermission. Please hold. I think there's currently an incompetence intermission. You will... How about no retry? That sounds better. Alright. Come on, Jester. You can pull it back. This kind of map especially. Hmm. Again, going for those early missiles, still getting some of them in. Got a good slash in, seems to be getting pretty aggressive. He's gonna get slashed if he stays there, though. I haven't really changed anything since last time, but he seems to be a lot more slashy competent this time. Oof, there we go, that did some nice stuff. Yeah, it was relying... It seems like the Jester was relying heavily on the pressure from the missiles, which... again, are kind of getting a bit nullified at the moment. But, meanwhile the Obscuro seems to go more for the run-and-gun approach. So, it's close. Let's the Obscuro on that one, but I want to just test one thing real quick here. Let's go to the AI tendencies. He wanted it to go 2 ticks more to short range. So let's give that a shot, see if that changes anything here. It should only be, I want to say like a 30-meter difference, something like that, distance-wise. Alright. Let's see. So, it's getting slightly closer. I'm really not sure that the extra blade hits will do it, but... Okay, no, he's going for better slashes, okay. And I believe I had him set... Yeah, okay, so he was set with the rapid switch chip, so he should still be using the missiles at close range that might get around the pods. No, not quite. Oof, nice. Alright, so he can't do... Oh, no, not with that slash, he can't. Yeah, he basically needs to get away with free slashes, by the looks of it. So let's continue doing the 3 out of 5. It does seem like he's gonna need to get away with like maybe 3 or 4 free slashes in order to catch up with us now. Dang it, decoy pods. Actually, you know what? Experiment with one more thing. So we'll just do 2 out of 3 for this one, since, you know, if he pulls it back, yeah, we'll just do 2 out of 3, because there's kind of another thing I want to test in terms of what would happen if we just gave him ECM pods instead of decoys. In terms of free hits, that'll do it. Now, I believe that thing's got some pretty decent ECM protection, but I guess we'll find out. Ow. Yeah, a bunch of stuff just fell off my desk. Alright. So yeah, that's not looking like it's changing the fight too much, so let's try with those ECM pods, do another 2 out of 3, see if that can turn this around. But I think this thing's a little dedicated to missiles to be able to effectively deal with 20-shot pods. Alright, so figure he's gonna need some pretty decent ECM interference in order to be able to get around the radar. So there we go, do that. I believe he's got at least a B or an A in terms of his ECM. Oh no, yeah, he's got an A. But yeah, so Okami, if you've got a thing you want to do, then I can change it. It seems like the problem is it seems like it would have to switch from using missiles, which would kind of, you know, change the thing entirely. I don't know. Either way, let me know. Doesn't seem like it's doing very good on the ground dodges. Actually, I can't tell that the ECM pods are doing much of anything. You know, I'm not seeing any ticks for interference or anything, and he's used at least 2 of them. What would be nice is if the ECM pods caused the interfering devices, or if it interfered with interference devices, I should say. And yeah, I saw a couple little ticks where it seemed to affect the Obscuro's lock-on, but it didn't do the difference. I really expected this to be closer. This comes down to blade stuff, I guess. Yeah, the Obscuro's got an advantage here because of radar, but he also shouldn't. Okay, yeah, no, neither one should really be getting lost because they've still got some radar. Alright, there we go. That's interfering with him, but it doesn't have a whole lot of range. That's probably what it is. Oh, actually, no. Jester's winning it pretty hard here. Okay, he actually might get this. Has a very strong chance of getting this, in fact. Oh yeah, I think what would make the difference is if I changed his tendencies to be more, you know, more gun-based. Alright, there we go, so the Jester won it. So if he can get a good, aggressive lead, then he can definitely keep it better. So, final round then. Let's just base it on this, I suppose. Comes down to whether or not the Obscuro will get affected by his ECM pods. Wham! Wham! Alright, well, this can go either way right now. It's been a little bit of a long one, but this seems like it might be the deciding fight. Nice shot into a wall there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so he's affected by the ECM. As long as it's just coming down in range. So yeah, as long as he's affected, this is a much fairer fight. The decoys didn't seem to do much for the Jester. I guess it's just because he didn't really move out of the way as much. Oh, crap. Well, he turned around at the last moment, but yeah, that thing is nuts. The Moonlight, if it actually hits with some decent arms, I just completely turned it around in one swing. Alright, there you go. Guess you guys let me know if you want to change stuff. But I'm kind of hoping that was the last of the rematches.